Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy, back with another Arsenal update, just like always. Arsenal transfers, Arsenal news. This is the place. Do subscribe, do smash a like on the video. Let's get it to 300 likes within 2 hours. Let's see if we can do that. 2 hours, 300 likes. That is the target. William Saliba has arrived in Marseille. That means Arsenal is planning on the final stages, is dealing with the final stages of the Ben White deal. And finally, Balogun has been promoted to the first team at Arsenal. Just number 26 is what he's going to be putting on. And that is interesting for me. Really, really interesting, because I think one of the most demanded talents, one of the players that have really been demanded by the fans has been Balogun. We're gonna discuss and dive into all that. Make sure you join me in the comment section. The question this one is, what do you think about Balogun and Edin Ketia? Who is the better player? We've not seen so much of Balogun, but the few minutes we've seen him, especially in the Europa League last season, he's been sensational. The goals he scored, for me, especially that second goal he scored in the tournament, was a typical striker goal. We've seen more of Edin Ketia to judge him. I think he's had more games than Balogun. There is more love, there is more trust in the Arsenal fan base to see Balogun play, and many people would be very okay if Eddie left and if Edin Ketia left and Balogun stayed. So let's get into it. The first story, obviously, around Balogun. He's been promoted to the first squad, to the first team, and is going to be putting on shirt number 26. The first thing I'm going to say is congratulations, Balogun. It's his hard work. Honestly, we've got to accept it. It's been his hard work. He's done it, and finally, hard work pays. So after signing his contract, after renewing his contract, being linked with a couple of clubs, Leverkusen, Atlanta, and a couple of other clubs abroad, he decided to stay. And his priority was always to stay. That is according to Charles White. His priority was always to stay with the club. And finally, he did stay and signed his new big long-term contract. Now he joins the first squad. Of course, there's a big question with Florent is, now that Edin Ketia is leaving, because Fabrizio says, it's not Fabrizio, it is Sky Sport, and it was Sheth who said that it is confirmed Edin Ketia would leave. I don't want to fabricate, Fabrizio Romano. So it was Sheth, Sky Sport, and he said we tried to offer a new contract to Edin Ketia. Things didn't get resolved, and it looks like he's on the move this summer. West Ham, Palace, Leverkusen as well is interested. I think Southampton and Brighton are also interested in taking out Edin Ketia. For me, try to compare for me the two players. Who do you think is the better player? Is it Eddie or is it Balogun? If you're to keep, who would you keep? Balogun, who has actually not had a chance at Arsenal, or Eddie, who has had a couple of games at Arsenal and proven that he could be a mediocre striker, but he's still an Arsenal player, right? So that is the first piece of news. Balogun promoted to the first squad. Obviously, he will wear shirt number 26. Would love to get your thoughts on that as well. William Saliba has finally landed in Marseille, arrived in France, and he's at Marseille. He's gonna do his medicals, and he will be announced as an Olympique de Marseille player in the coming hours. Big news for Marseille fans. Big news for Saliba, and big news for Arsenal fans, because the Standard are saying after the departure of William Saliba, Arsenal are now working on the final details and the final stages of Ben White. They would actually want to land the player in this week. Obviously, we've spoken much about the transfer of William Saliba, and I said it that maybe there is a problem with this, with this player. Maybe there is a problem between Arteta and William Saliba. We don't know yet. The Arsenal club have always made it very clear. The club that do not have any problems with the player, they still look at him as one of the one in the big picture, in the long term. However, at the moment, there is nowhere he can't play, so they have decided to let him go on a third consecutive loan deal to Olympique Marseille. He will stay there for a whole season, and then he will return to the club in next summer, right? So Saliba leaves. We've talked about Saliba, really a lot. But what the William Saliba deal means, being completed, what it actually means is one or two things. One, there is now a place to be filled at Arsenal, because you've lost Saliba back to loan. You've also lost David Louis back on. He's left the club on a permanent deal as a free agent, right? So who comes in? Ladies and gentlemen, according to the Standard, Arsenal is finalizing the final footsteps, the final step away. Like Gianluigi said, Arsenal are one step away. We are finalizing the final step away to get Ben White after Marseille have announced the departure of William Saliba. He comes in as a direct replacement to both William Saliba and David Louis. I mean, that story has been written by the Standard, and if you ask me how much you trust the Standard, I think I'm gonna reward them for their timing. Perfect timing. As Saliba leaves, and then you just break this story, it makes sense. But I don't trust them 100%. Honestly, I mean, they're not that outlet that will fail to sacrifice their legacy or their credibility. But like I said, it comes in at it's more like a means to an end of a story. Saliba leaves, David Louis leaves. Who comes in? It is Ben White. And according to reports I've seen, many clubs have been interested, by the way, in Ben White. Sincerely, apart from the Brighton rumors and sagas that they've been putting around, many clubs have been interested in getting in Ben White, but they're more convinced, right? They're more convinced that a deal between Brighton, Arsenal, and Ben White is done and dusted. So that is it, guys. Arsenal completing and finalizing the final stages to land Ben White. It might not be this week. I mean, I can't. Yesterday, I said Arsenal want to announce Ben White this week. They want to work on this deal. But the fact that the player has been in the Euros, and the fact that, and I said it yesterday, that the players do want to take time off, a rest, probably 21 days, probably less than that. It will depend. It depends on the length of the holiday, but personally I don't believe 21 days is reasonable. Yes, they've been playing in a tournament for a whole month. Ben White has not been playing in this tournament, so he's unexceptional. But the likes of Saka, they've been playing in the tournament for 1 month, and I think they need time to rest. And I think it's only justifiable if the likes of White and Saka and whoever has been in the Euros actually get time to rest. But if they rest for 21 days, when do we prepare for the league then? It's a big question. Are we starting the league with Rob Holding at centre back? I don't want to be humiliated on the first day of the league in a campaign where we think it is our time. I don't want the humiliation, honestly. I don't want it, and I don't want to say it. But anyway, guys, speaking facts about this deal, it is bound to happen. It's about to happen. We've got to hold in there. We've got to hang in there. Just a little more, just a little bit more, just hang in there. Arsenal will finalize this deal. Gianluigi says one step away. Fabrizio said Arsenal very confident of signing him. And finally, the Standard is saying final steps, the footwork. And the problem with Arsenal and its final footwork, final footsteps, is at times they could take so long. We've seen the Albert Sambi Lokonga deal. It took so long, and it was like, what the hell is going on? Why don't you finish this off, right? But finally, Lokonga arrived in England. He's now in quarantine. So we're just waiting for Ben White. Of course, Ben White is never going to arrive in the UK. Maybe, arriving at Arsenal, that will be a story to tell. Okay. The moment he arrives at Arsenal, I will come live. I promise. And the moment you guys get this to 300 likes in 2 hours, right? I will be very available at 6 p.m. live with another big update. So make sure you do smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. We shall speak at I'm gonna do the preview. How did I forget this? I'm gonna do the preview right after 1.5 hours after this, or 2 hours after this. I'm going to upload the preview for today's game. Preseason starts today. That is at around I'll drop it around 9, no 3 today. 3 today, right? 3 or 3:30 today. I'll be dropping that, right? Then people who have been asking me of the time of the game, it is actually 6 p.m. UK time. That is 8 p.m. Arsenal Ugandan time, or East African Standard Time. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. right? If like I said, if I get the right if I get the right avenue, because like I said, you cannot watch it on the Arsenal website. It is 50,000 Ugandan shillings. They are absolutely disgusting. They disgust me, Arsenal. Honestly, it's my club. I love it. Everybody knows that. I love this club, but they disgust me. Absolutely shit. Right? But we shall speak at exactly 6 live. I'll come back with a preview at around 3:30. I'll be coming back with a preview of that game and more transfer news coming up. More content on this channel. Please make sure you do subscribe. We are at 26,000 subscribers. We want to get to 27. At least we should hit 30k before the end of July. Love you so much, and we'll speak to you in the next one.